Everybody keeps asking for a breakdown on how I generate my leads and do my workflow for freelancing with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So today we're going to go over how I find my leads and how I pitch to them. The leads that I find are mostly through the Nextdoor app as well as Google Maps. You can use Facebook, you can use Twitter, you can use whatever you want to use to find the people that you're looking for. But I find Facebook, Nextdoor app, and Google Maps are going to be some of your best ones because your target audience for this particular plan is people that aren't very technological savvy. So first you get on Nextdoor app and you find people and you start sending them messages, or you get on Google Maps and you find businesses that do not have a website attached to their business page and you call that business. The pitch that you need to throw is different depending on what they have. So obviously I'm not just targeting people that have no website. I target people with websites that could be updated, or people that just don't have an IT team and don't really know what they're doing, but they have something going. But we're going to mainly focus on people that don't have a website. And I've had a lot of people ask me, like, what do you say to them? Who am I to say anything to them? And all these things. Well, the reality is most of these people that are small business owners are older than us. They don't mess with technology a whole lot. And they think that these websites are going to cost them thousands of dollars. They don't know where to start. They're scared to even try. So that's where you come in, and you got to let them know. What I like to do is I like to Google a lot of stats of how websites help businesses with legitimacy, also being able to rank in Google, SEO. I put that in my pitch. So when I'm reaching out to them and I'm telling them, like, hey, you really should get a website. These are the reasons why. It increases traffic flow. There's a conversion rate. People want to know that you're legit. So when they're looking for a plumber or HVAC or whatever it may be, the first thing they do is they're going to Google you. And if you don't have a website, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities. So you let them know with a Google search, a simple Google search, and show them the data that is already out there of how websites help small businesses. The next part is that you want to throw technical words out there to let them know that you know what you're talking about, but you also need to make it simple for them to understand. So you can say words like SEO, but let them know what it is. Let them know this is for when people search on Google. Google can find your page a lot easier, and it helps you rank higher in the Google search. So if somebody's looking for a plumber, let's try to get you ranking in Google search as a plumber. And that's really the key with your pitch, is to sell yourself as the liaison between their business and their online presence. And I know for a lot of people, this is really difficult because it does involve a lot of footwork. It involves a lot of cold calling, a lot of cold messages. And it can be very discouraging when you send 100 and only one person writes back and he strings you on for a couple of days and then you never hear nothing again. But that's part of the game. This is a numbers game, and you just keep reaching out, and you never know. Maybe later on they thought about it and they reach back out to you, which is what happened to me recently, where I reached out to someone weeks ago and then they reached back out to me like, you know what, I do want to do this. And when you're dealing with this sort of clientele, they want you to be personable. These aren't big corporations. These aren't big companies. These are people's moms and dads. This is your neighbor. These are the type of people that want you to be personable. They want you to explain it to them in layman's terms. So don't get too technical with them. Just give them a little bit to let them know you know what you're talking about, but also explain it to them so they can understand what the benefits are. And this is one of the biggest things. Let them know that you're human and that you are here to help their business. And that leads me to another thing that a lot of people are like, oh, you're charging too little. You're doing all these bad things. That's kind of the point. We're reaching out to a clientele that wouldn't normally get a website because of the price. They don't see the benefits in it. And maybe there won't be a whole lot of benefit besides some legitimacy when somebody checks them out. And that's okay. But either way, a website is really important. So it's important for you to help them too, not just be after the money, but give them a price that they can afford and they can understand, and walk them through it. Yes, I'm looking for a job. My bills are piling up. I'm getting in heavy debt, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I want to make a dollar, but I also really want to help people. I want to have a good name out there. And I think that's what you should be targeting to, a little bit of both. It's called compromise. I make a little bit of money. You save a little bit of money. We both win-win because I helped you. You helped me. A lot of people talk about they're scared to talk to people. It's okay. I was scared too. I remember the first time that I made my first cold call, I had to pace back and forth in my room to hype myself up to make this phone call. I was terrified. My palms are sweating. My heart was racing. And then I called. They didn't even answer. And then I called another one, and then they answered and they told me no. Then I called another one, and then he told me to call me back in July. But what I seen through this practice, this repetition of actually cold calling people, it wasn't that bad. Nothing happened. My fear was exaggerated and came from nothing. And I'm sure you're going through the same thing. So just make the phone call. And that's why I like Facebook and Nextdoor app as well, because you can just send messages. So start tailoring what your pitch is going to be. And I know I changed mine dramatically, or I try to find something about the company that resonates with me. Like, hey, I really like the design that you did in that one person's yard, or man, that deck was beautiful, whatever it is. But let them know that you're not spam, you're not a bot, and you actually researched their company and you think you can help. That gives that personal piece when you are reaching out to them. And this will help you with getting the leads that actually convert into customers. But this is a numbers game, and this will take a lot of time, a lot of effort, but it's really good practice. No matter what you're going to do, you need to know how to talk to people. And if you can sell yourself, you're going to do great in interviews, and it's going to help you in so many other things in your life. So I recommend definitely get started. But this is how I perfect my pitch. And this takes a lot of tweaking, and you got to find your own way, but use a little bit of data, use a little bit of information, make it personal. Use these things in your pitch, however that works for you, whether you're using cold calling or messages. Start writing out templates for messages and keep tweaking it as you go. Run it through AI and see if you can make it better, or check for errors and do stuff like that. Hit like and subscribe. I will be coming out with part 2 next week of the workflow of how I get these templates going without copying everybody else's and doing my own. So look out for next Tuesday. I'll have that video up. Later.